It's been almost a decade since Cartoon Fight Club Episode 8, back when we had an epic battle between the Ogre Lord Shrek and the top scarer Sulley. And I don't know about you, but I think it's finally time for a rematch to celebrate the Shrek 5 reveal trailer, but not just any type of rematch, a 2-on-2 rematch. This time we're bringing in the sidekicks to help out. We've got a battle between Shrek and his non-stop talking animal friend Donkey versus Sulley and the little one-eyed ball himself, Mike Wazaowski. And as stated many years ago, this rematch will have prep time for both sides. I'm your host, Animation Rewind, and without further ado, let's introduce Cartoon Fight Club's next round of fighters.
Oh, wait, Brian, wait! Now let's watch a whole bunch of ads.
Oh. Somebody once told me that Shrek would eventually return to Cartoon Fight Club, and it's against the very first opponent he fought. The icon of DreamWorks has had his fair share of attention, both from this channel and the internet in general. It's funny since originally, he just wanted to be left alone in the swamp, but nowadays, he's arguably one of the most popular animated film characters of all time. Anyways, let's start the analysis. You all know the story behind Shrek, the big green ogre who just wanted to be left alone, but after running into a talking donkey, being forced to save a princess from a castle so that an evil dictator would give him his swamp back, falling in love with said princess, Shrek realized that he was something much more important, that being a loving husband, a best friend, and a father figure. If you told him that all of these things would happen at the very start of the series, he would have laughed at you before scaring you out of a swamp. I mean, the guy literally wiped his behind with the notion of true love. Shrek is an incredibly strong character. As an ogre, he can lift up to 20 times his own body weight, which is roughly 600 pounds, which means his maximum lifting strength would be around 12,000 pounds. And this isn't as far-fetched as it sounds, as Shrek is strong enough to break through metal doors, sink a ship by throwing a champagne bottle at it, and uprooting a tree out of the ground. Further confirming Shrek's incredible strength is the fact that he should be much stronger than the likes of Puss in Boots, as Shrek was able to pin him to the ground. Puss was strong enough to wrestle a bull to the ground, and this was when he was a child. So imagine how much stronger he is as an adult cat rather than a kitten, and how much stronger Shrek is to Puss, considering the size advantage he has over him. But of course, all that use of strength is nothing if you can't put it into good use in a fight. Well, luckily for Shrek, he's been in many battles throughout his life. He's taken out hordes of Lord Farquaad's knights, proved his fighting powers by saving Fiona from the Dragon's Keep, and even has experience fighting magical foes, such as Rumpelstiltskin and the Fairy Godmother. Shrek's main go-to is his strength and fighting skill, but don't make all that size make you think he's somehow slow and unathletic. Shrek is shown to do some impressive parkour moves when saving Fiona from the dragon, and is fast enough to dodge arrows and catch a speeding witch's broomstick. Shrek is also fast enough to outrun the likes of Dragon, who can keep up with Donkey. The top speed of a regular donkey is about 40 miles per hour, and since Shrek was able to outrun the dragon, he should be able to scale to this. Being a big scary ogre gives Shrek the impressive ability to scare people with his terrifying roar, which scared an entire town's worth of people away. He's also pretty crafty with his, let's call it, natural scent. Shrek can use his farts to knock people out, has a set of matches which he could sort of use as a flamethrower when combined with his burps, and he even has some solid pain tolerance, as he remained unfazed after being punched and kicked by Fiona for several hours, and this was even after she smashed him with a large tree. But while Shrek is a skilled fighter with some great pain tolerance, he's shown that durability isn't exactly one of his strong suits. Sure, he survived Fiona's smashing him with a large tree, which is above wall level, but it might also be that only his bones are durable, as arrows have been shown to pierce Shrek's soft skin, meaning he could likely die if he gets stabbed. He's also not the most outwardly nice guy around. I mean, he nearly died because he wanted to be free from his family for a day.
Are you sure?
Now that we've gotten the ogre's layers out of the way, let's discuss his chatterbox friend, Donkey. Donkey is Shrek's best friend, despite the fact that he could get on the ogre's nerves quite easily due to how much of a blabbermouth he is, but that does not stop him from having the best intentions for his big green friend. Donkey did start off with a sad life, being sold into Farquaad's knights for a few shillings. Even after escaping the knights and making himself at home in Shrek's swamp, much to Shrek's annoyance, Donkey proved himself to be a loyal friend, being the first person to see Shrek as more than just a big scary ogre. Due to being a non-anthropomorphic animal and rather just a regular donkey who can talk, Donkey isn't as a skilled fighter as Shrek is, but that doesn't mean he's a bad fighter, and what he lacks in size, he makes up in the ability to not shut up. He's fiercely loyal and will do anything to accompany Shrek on his journeys. Donkey has an incredible sense of smell, as he used his nose to smell a delicious plate of waffles from a very long distance away. Donkey and Shrek were at the Dragon's Keep when Donkey picked up that smell, and the Dragon's Keep is more than a deserted area miles away from that type of forest, showing just how far Donkey can pick up that scent and track it. While Donkey cannot fight as well as Shrek, he still has some pretty solid strength on his side. He was able to lift up Shrek, who, as stated before, is around 600 pounds. However, he does have trouble pulling this off. What's more impressive is Donkey's striking strength with his backwards donkey kick. When Puss in Boots was attacking Shrek, Donkey tried to help out by kicking him, but he missed and ended up kicking Shrek in the groin. As stated earlier, Shrek could shrug off blows from Fiona and even laughed off a tree being smashed on him, so Donkey being able to make Shrek flinch by kicking him means he has wall level plus kicking. While Donkey isn't as brave as Shrek, he's still willing to stand beside him and keep up with him on plenty of occasions. This would give Donkey subsonic reaction speed speed scaling to Shrek's speed. It also helps that he's much smaller than Shrek and being able to run on all fours, but while Donkey has proven to be a loyal friend to the big green guy, he's definitely the weaker of the two of them.
Oh, okay.
Now it's time to move away from the swamps and down towards the headquarters of Monsters, Inc. James P. Sullivan works at Monsters Incorporated and is one of the top scarers of all time. As a scarer, it's Sulley's job to harvest scream energy from scaring kids, and due to his status as the top scarer, he does a pretty good job at it. It also helps that Sulley is the son of Bill Sullivan, who is an accomplished scarer. As a matter of fact, it is stated that Sulley's entire family were all fantastic scarers. And it's not just the look of the monster, because you could argue that Sulley looks like a giant teddy bear. What makes him so scary is that he's 8 feet tall and he's got an iconic roar that's broken several scaring scales and placed him at the top of the charts for his line of work. Due to his massive size, Sulley is naturally strong. He can rip through steel pipes, bend said pipes with ease, and even open a large metal door. Sulley is also strong enough to bash right through plywood. It's been stated that his top lifting feat is around 10,000 pounds. He may have stated that he doesn't follow a proper training schedule, but as we can see at the beginning of Monsters Inc., Mike does put him through some intense training. Not just when it comes to scaring, but plenty of physical activity as well. Sulley may be a big guy, but he's also quite acrobatic, and for someone of his size, he was able to catch up to a fast-moving bus just by running alone. He carried a total of 5 other monsters on his back while leaping over buildings, and has shown to swing off of moving doors without too much of a problem, performing a lot of mid-air flips while doing so. Sulley may also have some solid durability on his side. He not only survived falling off a large mountainside in blistering cold weather, but also tanked multiple stabs from a stinging glow urchin. This thing is completely and utterly toxic, meaning a single stab of this thing would not only hurt but fill your body with several toxic chemicals. Yet Sulley took several of these things and was able to keep going without much of a problem. All of this, combined with an intense training, shows that Sulley is quite a powerhouse and worthy of being the top scare at Monsters Inc. But let that sink in for a moment. He's only been training to scare. When it comes to actual hand-to-hand combat, Sulley isn't really the one to get his hands dirty. He has stated that while he is aware that he's scary, he can also be scared quite easily himself. Now, he does have some pretty useful claws and fangs that he could use for physical combat, but again, he is someone who prefers peace. And now that we've gotten the top scare out of the way, we could discuss his trainer and best friend, Mike Wazaowski. And remember, that's Wazaowski with one eye, so get it right, people. Mike is Sulley's best friend and co-worker, but he didn't start out that way. Mike and Sulley were actually rivals back when they were students at Monsters University. Mike was a smart guy who wanted to try his best to prove that he was worthy of being a scarer, while Sulley was more laid back due to being part of a family that was well known for being top scarers, making him more of an arrogant jock who believed he would have a scaring career handed to him on a platter. Wanting to prove to Sulley, as well as the rest of the university, that he was indeed a scary monster, Mike put in all his effort by reading every single scare textbook that would help him pass the scaring program. Unfortunately, due to a feud with Sulley, they accidentally ended up breaking the dean's screen canister, which got them both expelled. But through signing up for the scare games and teaming up with his rival, Mike and Sulley won the games and got themselves back into the scaring program, only to be expelled yet again after Mike tried to scare an actual kid, only to fail. But while Mike may not have become a scarer like he always wanted to be, he did become Sulley's co-worker and trainer and was happy to accept that while he may not have gotten his dream job, he did get to work at Monsters Inc. at the end of the day. And this is why Monsters University is Pixar's most underrated film out of all of them. Mike might not be the strongest or scariest monster around, but while Mike may lack size and intimidation, he makes it up with his brain power. He might not have passed Monsters University at the end of the day, but while he was there, he did receive top grades of his class, and he's proven to be a very skilled trainer. While he was in the scare games, he managed to turn a bunch of pathetic nobody monsters that everyone saw as losers into scaring champions. And still to this day, he trains Sulley to be a top scarer by putting him through intense physical training. Like Sulley, Mike also has survived multiple stabs from stinging glow urchins and falling off a large mountainside in blistering cold weather. And while he might not be a top scarer, he is the top comedic monster when Sulley and Mike discovered that laugh energy is more powerful than scream energy. Mike used his comedic edge to become Monsters Inc.'s most valuable employee when they went a different direction. So it looks like he got his dream job after all. Kind of. But let's also not forget that Mike is physically weaker and smaller than Sulley, and is not only even less of a combatant than Sulley is, but lacks any sort of intimidation. Sulley may not be a fighter, but he's a scary monster and could send chills down the spines of whatever the opponent he's facing. But Mike couldn't even scare a child. That means his only reliable means of combat is his brain power. But since there's preparation in this fight, brains might actually be the thing that makes this duo win. Let's find out what happens.
And now, let's get ready for the fight. This battle will take place on Earth, and remember, there is prep time. Let the battle begin!
Wee-ha! Handsome monster coming through.
We'll get him next time. A star is born.
Somebody.
Michael!
Coming through.
Oh, Shrek! Look out now!
Oh!
What the? Oh, yeah! We're gonna go for a ride! Fuck you! Do you know what you're doing? Clearly, that's not quite right. What? Wow! Oh, rolling down. Wow! Ow! Oh!
May the best monster win.
No! What? What the? Hey, look at me! I'm stripping the light fantastic! Mind your big head! Oh, I won! I can't believe my eye!
Hopefully you enjoyed that animation, and if you did, super special thanks to Team Animation Rewind's Gabriel M. I'd also like to thank YaBoiMecha for writing the pre-analysis scripts, and Komon from A&KGames for editing the pre- and post-analysis. Thanks, and enjoy the post-analysis. Somebody once told me that Shrek and Donkey would take this win in a fight, and yeah, I want to start off this post-analysis by saying without prep, Shrek and Donkey should win this fight, just as Shrek won the original battle in episode 8. But with preparation, things heavily favor Mike and Sulley. Shrek's best use of prep time is simple. He would go straight for the love potion. We've seen how powerful it is in Shrek 2. He can override emotions, redirect affection, and completely compromise someone's judgment. If Shrek got close enough, he could trick Sulley and Mike into falling in love with something dangerous and win that way. But the problem is that Mike and Sulley don't need to play anywhere near that range. Their prep time advantage is far more decisive. With full access to the Monsters Inc. door system, they could travel through hundreds of dimensions instantly. They don't need to fight Shrek or even let him get within potion distance. All they have to do is open the right door, lure or rush the swamp duo towards it, and remove them from the battle entirely. Battlefield removal is a tough counter for the Shrek duo to overcome. Unlike the love potion, which requires setup, deception, and physical proximity, the door travel is immediate, repeatable, and only needs to work once for them to win. Now before you say, wouldn't Shrek and Donkey know about this and avoid all doors? Sure, but the love potion would require them to chase Sulley and Mike, and they would have to enter those doors in order to get that done. And even if they didn't want to run the risk of not knowing what each door has to offer, Shrek and Donkey could be forced into the doors. If Sulley were to use his guardian armor, which would give him an enormous stat boost, they could force Shrek and Donkey into a door filled with lava or a very dangerous place. The options are endless, which would make the winner of this battle Sulley and Mike.
All right.
On the next episode of Cartoon Fight Club.
All fired up.
All right!